Hello Gregynog, Shemai. I'm Neil Alexander.
And I'm Jamie Harris, and this is the view from Skokholm. Skokholm is an island lying 2.5 miles off the coast of Pembrokeshire, near the mouth of Milford Haven. It's 1 mile long, 1/2 mile across, and home to amazing numbers of seabirds, including around 90,000 Manx shearwaters, 13,000 puffins, and 2,500 storm petrels. The UK's first bird observatory was established here in 1933 by the naturalist and writer R.M. Lockley. Since 2008, the island has been a national nature reserve run by the Wildlife Trust of South and West Wales.
Skokholm also lies just a few miles from a major international shipping lane that sees supertankers carrying oil from Nigeria and liquefied natural gas from the Gulf of Mexico to the ocean terminals and refineries of Milford Haven. In the 1960s, this deepwater port in a sleepy corner of West Wales was transformed into a hub for the global fossil economy, Britain's largest oil port, with refineries run by Amoco, Esso, Gulf and Texaco. BP's ocean terminal at Angle Bay transported oil by pipeline all the way to Llandarcy near Swansea. And from 1968 to 2000, there was a 2,000 megawatt oil-fired power station operating near Pembroke Dock. By the 2010s, Milford Haven had made a significant transition from oil to fossil gas, opening LNG, liquefied natural gas, terminals at Gellieswick and Waterston, and building a new gas-fired power station in 2012. However, oil is still big business in the Haven. The Valero refinery at Roscrowther produces 270,000 barrels of petroleum per day.
It's the oil as much as the seabirds and solitude that has brought us to Skokholm. Our current research project, Welsh Writing After Coal, studies the literatures of Wales during what environmental historians call the Great Acceleration. This is the 80-year period since the end of the Second World War, during which global energy use, greenhouse gas emissions and ecological damage all increased very rapidly. In Wales, the Great Acceleration also initiated a momentous energy transition. As the once great coal industry slid into terminal decline after the war, Wales began to diversify its energy industries. Initially oil and nuclear power, more recently gas and renewables such as wind, solar and tidal power.
We're interested in the shifting significance of these newer energy sources upon the Welsh cultural imagination in the era after coal. That is, from the 1960s to the present. Drawing upon recent work in energy humanities, eco-criticism and literary geography, we examine how writers have registered the transition away from coal and towards other sources of energy in Wales during the late 20th and 21st centuries. Another strand of the project considers the role of energy production and consumption in the development of an ecological consciousness. in Welsh cultural production, particularly during the 21st century.
At the moment, we're working on oil and Welsh petrocultures, so Skokholm seemed a good place to start. R.M. Lockley lived on the island from 1927 to 1940 and wrote about Skokholm obsessively in books such as Dream Island, Island Days and Letters from Skokholm.
What's less well known is that in 1930, Lockley documented an illegal discharge of oil by a ship passing Skokholm and instigated the first successful prosecution under the 1922 Oil in Navigable Waters Act. As chairman of the West Wales Field Society, he also campaigned against industrial development at nearby Milford Haven and wrote vivid accounts of these struggles in his book Orielton.
So, Lockley and his writings on Skokholm are our way into the larger story of literature, oil and ecology at Milford Haven. That story reaches a sort of climax in the Sea Empress disaster of February 1996, where a 147,000-ton supertanker bound for the Texaco refinery ran aground on rocks at St Anne's Head, just 2 miles from Skokholm, leaking 72,000 tons of oil into its waters and causing the deaths of tens of thousands of seabirds.
While we're here on Skokholm, we are following in Lockley's footsteps, visiting the places and landmarks described in his writings. A kind of literary fieldwork, if you will. However, we're also very interested to observe how things have changed since Lockley's day, his time on the island. For instance, which of Milford Haven's oil refineries can be seen from Skokholm? How many tankers carrying oil or liquefied natural gas will pass during 3 days? What kinds of plastics and other marine debris wash up on the island's shores in the 21st century? In short, how is the climate crisis manifest even on Skokholm Island's sanctuary? Thanks for listening and see you in Gregynog next year.